Welcome.
Welcome to the Everything podcast. In this episode, I'm going to be recapping Creature Commandos episode 4 titled Chasing Squirrels, which was released on the 19th of December 2024. But before that, I want to talk about Christmas because this is the first episode that I have recorded after Christmas Day. So thank you for everyone who has watched, commented and liked on every single episode, but specifically the 2024 Christmas special, which went out on Christmas Day. I should mention that I'm recording this episode on the 27th of December 2024, so 2 days after Christmas. So I took a break from recording. I've taken a week and a half since recording pretty much because there was very little, but I kind of knew that once Christmas came there was quite a lot. So as of time of recording, I have got 27 episodes that I have written, but obviously this will be the first one. So if you remember, before I started doing the recaps, I showed trailers for what you could expect in that episode. I am reinstating that, but there'll be some episodes, like this one won't have one, and the next episode won't have one, and I will explain why. So expect one unless I say otherwise, basically. But yes, without further ado, and I should mention this is so you will have seen should be the first 4 episodes of Creature Commandos will be back-to-back episodes 1 to 4. I will be doing episodes 5, 6, and 7. I've actually I wrote episode 5 this morning, but I'm doing it in time order, so there'll be a long gap between episodes 4 and 5, and then there'll be gaps between 5, 6 and 7, so they are coming. You'll just have to wait a little bit longer, but without further ado, here's my recap for Creature Commandos episode 4 titled Chasing Squirrels. Flag and Elena kiss repeatedly. Flag explains to Elena why he can't stay with her. We then have the title sequence. Elizabeth yells at Commandos. Flag compliments the bride. Frankenstein watches the bride's conversation with Flag. One of Frankenstein's henchmen explains who Flag is. Frankenstein calls Flag's face stupid. Frankenstein attacks this henchman. Weasel reunites with Elizabeth. Elizabeth calls Weasel John. Elizabeth gives Flag her business card. Flag and Elizabeth agree on Weasel not being able to talk. Flag explains that where he and the Creature Commandos have been is classified. Flag reminds Elizabeth that Weasel killed 27 children. Weasel remembers being shot at. Elizabeth corrects Flag's understanding of Weasel's actions. Elizabeth gives Weasel food. Frankenstein's helicopter crash lands. Frankenstein kills the pilot. Cersei threatens some security guards. Waller introduces herself. Flag mentions Hocus Pocus. Waller reminds Cersei of her current situation. Waller asks Economos' opinion. Cersei wants to kill Elena, even to save the world. Waller mentions Glinda the Good Witch. Cersei calls Waller a pig. Economos reminds Flag and Waller of Cersei's powers. Some children find Weasel. One of these children gives Weasel a chocolate bar. Another child gives Weasel an apple. Waller has entered Cersei's holding cell. Cersei enters Waller's mind. This features many dead heroes. Flag calls one of Cersei's powers a Jedi mind trick. Someone gives an example of Cersei's powers being useful. Waller orders Flag and the Creature Commandos to return to Pollock's land to kill Elena. Flag objects to this. Flag pretends he and Elena didn't sleep together. Flag walks off. Dr. Phosphorus calls today's prison menu hyena vomit. A prisoner bullies Nina. The bride threatens this prisoner. The bride attacks and kills this prisoner. Dr. Phosphorus finds Nina some food. Dr. Phosphorus insults a prisoner. Economos informs the Creature Commandos of their new mission and that the bride is their new leader. Flag is trying to warn Pollock's son of Waller's plan. Frankenstein attacks Flag. Frankenstein and Flag fight. Flag is confused about Frankenstein's attack. Frankenstein laughs at Flag. Frankenstein insults Flag. Frankenstein inadvertently compliments Flag's appearance. Flag discusses Elena and Cersei with Frankenstein. Frankenstein mentions Leo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet. Frankenstein also mentions the films Titanic and When Harry Met Sally. Frankenstein perceives Flag as its best friend. Nina asks the bride why she helped her in the cafeteria. The bride explains herself. The bride tells Nina that she has killed people in the past. The children play with Weasel. A child convinces the other children to enter school outside of normal school hours. A man believes Weasel is a werewolf. The children accidentally start a fire. The man points a gun at Weasel. The man attempts to shoot Weasel repeatedly. The fire expands. Weasel witnesses one of the children die. Weasel attempts to comfort another of the children. The police shoot at Weasel. Weasel tries to save one of the children. The other Creature Commandos see this as Weasel just dreaming. That is my recap for Creature Commandos. Now, you might mention before I showed you the recap, I did say that episode 5 you'll be waiting a while for, but episodes so by the time you're watching this, episodes 1, 2 and 3 will be on the channel, so go check that out. We should have released a couple of days before this episode came out, if that makes sense. And I did also say that there's not a trailer at the end of this episode, and that's because next time on the Everything podcast I will be recapping Torchwood, A Christmas Card from Mr. Colchester, which was a release that wasn't known about, so therefore there's no trailer for it. So tune in tomorrow for that episode. But put in the comments below what you thought of Creature Commandos Chasing Squirrels if you watched it. Mind if you didn't, put your thoughts on both of those in the comments below, as well with anything else you want to see on the channel, such as any previews or recaps, and put those in the comments as well. And remember, you can also like, comment and subscribe, and that's it for this episode of the Everything Podcast. Goodbye.